What is going on, people? We got 3 of these Ozark Trail knives, and we'll get into this black stuff here in a second. But here in a few minutes, we're going to test the Rockwell block. 63 Rockwell block, man, that thing is used. I have to start looking for another one. But anyway, I'm just going to talk to you about the knives so far.
Yeah.
All right, so the knives in general have some sort of coating on it that easily comes off with like acetone and a little bit of sanding. I just did some hand sanding. We didn't want to warm them up on the grinder. And I was just basically worried about this area right here. I took off a little bit more on one than the other. We just like try to keep up with which knife is which. But they do have some blade play out of the box. I'm not sure if that can be remedied. I bet that's a T8. Of course. Why am I so organized? That is a T8 pivot. It's as tight as it's going to get. Wow. No blade play. Also.
Also makes it really hard to.
That thing barely turned, man. I didn't even think it turned, to be honest. Yeah. So a little bit of blade play. God, that thing is gritty. Close it.
Ugh.
It's nasty.
Yeah,
ain't it?
scraping something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible. They're $10 a piece, man. You know, and they're taking the knife world by storm, and people were losing their shit over them. And I've had bunches of people ask about the Rockwell test, and we are going to get to that in this video. But man, that's a horribly.
It's crap.
If you want to get rid of the blade play, that is a free floating pivot too, or free spinning pivot. So what's interesting is like this is turning, and I don't know if it's D-shaped. If it is, I've stripped the knife out. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of these is going to be going to Nick Edward.
Not this one.
Man, this is horrible. You know.
Barely mess with it and it's done.
Let's see about the rest of them. We're gonna test the Rockwell. I got 3 of them because we wanted to test Rockwell, you know, on 3 of them to see like if they were, you know, consistent at least. I guess you would say this one's a little bit better. Not as much blade play on this one. That black stuff, that's either coming off of the orange paint. No, I mean I'm sure this is orange plastic. I don't know. All we did was set them down in acetone. You know, like this. You know, so the acetone was just kind of covering this part of the blade. So I'm not sure why like all this black is up here, to be honest, but it was like that when it came out of the box. But like it would appear like this is some sort of paint, you know, and it's just kind of getting everywhere. Yeah, that one's junk. You know, complete junk. You know, it's you got to keep in mind it's $10. You know, $10 is $10, and there's a lot of moving parts here, and you know, I'm not saying there's not a use for the knife, but we want to, I don't know. I mean, this one's a lot better.
Yeah.
And the blade play on this one isn't as bad as the first one either. It's kind of like a lottery. You know, like this one's somewhere in between because it's got like a really, really, really loose lock. I don't know. You guys know I'm not a fan of the bug out, but
I'm not either.
This is what we're gonna do, man. This one's got some sideways scratches on it on the blade portion here. This one has, well, I mean, I guess both of them do, but I scratched this one as well, going up and down. This is just 120 grit.
This one comes back further too.
Okay,
so like there's more black back here left.
Okay, so just to keep up which knife is which, the one with the least amount going off the blade is the worst one as far as performance goes. But you know, we're gonna call this one knife 1 with barely any gone at all. We'll call this one knife 2, and this is knife 3. So that was acetone and just some hand 120 sanding, you know, just very lightly sanding. And it didn't take long, you know, it was just a few seconds, man.
Yeah.
So like we didn't have to worry about heating up the blade and ruin the heat treat. I'm not impressed with the build, but I'm impressed with the fact that it's a lot more sturdier than the bug out.
Yeah. That's what I was just checking.
I mean,
You can bend it in some, but it's nowhere near like the bug out.
No, it's got a full liner. You
Yeah.
know, like there's a full liner in here that has been. You can see in here where the circles are. The weight relief holes have been drilled in, and that's on both sides. But it's you know, a good knife. It's a good knife for like 2015. You know what I mean? Like
And, I mean, over $10.
and for 10,
But-
yeah. If it would have come out in 2015 and it was $20, it'd have probably been a really good knife. If it come out now for $20, it would be a good knife. But it's just
you're getting what you're paying for.
absolutely. Well, let's see what you're paying for when you're paying for the heat treat. We're gonna test them all. Well, so this is knife 1.
Like 1, 2, 3 is what you said.
Okay,
There we
1,
go.
2, 3. All right, awesome. Let's go to the Rockwell tester and check that out.
Okay.
So all this stuff works best when it's at 70 degrees. So we're going to scan the block. It's at 73. The blade's at 68. That blade's at 67.4. And that blade is at 67.4. Okay.
We're close.
It's close, man. It's close. What was the block at again?
70s. Well,
60.
oh, there we go.
Wow.
Well,
The thing is jumping all around, man.
so it's close.
It's close, but it's not exact. So take that information, you know, like, and do what you will with it. So Courtney's loading our block.
There we go.
Yeah, you good. You good. Just make sure I ain't penetrating the hole for the second time.
Yeah.
All right. We're looking for the number 63. So, yeah.
Y'all know the drill.
Well, yeah, it's about 63.1 or 63, you know, somewhere between 63.1 and 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and line it up at 63 on the dot. And then we're going to test it again. Sometimes that works. Sometimes you actually have to calibrate the entire machine. I mean, this is kind of calibrating the machine, but like sometimes
More
you got to
in-depth
turn
calibration.
screws. And that's okay too. We'll just see where we're at. So about 1:18. Just calibrate the machine. There we go, man. We're at 63 on the dot. Usually we're within a half a point. Turning that little dial works. All right, so knife
number
1, okay. And we got a nice flat here. Like it's, you know, there is a nice flat to work with here. So this is the side we have the coating off of, obviously. So that's the side we're going to work with. And we don't have to put it on the block, Courtney.
Good.
Turn it around here till we match up. There we go. You want to guess? For guessing's sake?
55.
55. All right, I'll go with 57. If it's 56, no, I guess we just cancel each other out. How about that? All right. 60 and a half, which is interesting. Reason why I say that is because like Best Damn EDC has a video where
It's knock number 2.
this is knife number 2. He was prying a staple out and it bent the tip. I would have figured at 60 and a half that it would have just broke the tip. But it'd be kind of cool just to see if they're consistently heat treated, you know. You want to guess again?
I'm going to stick with 55. One of them's going to be low.
One of them's going to be low. Okay. I'll go with 59 on this one.
Okay.
Ha! 59 and a half.
There we go.
All right, there's knife number 2.
And here's knife number 3.
Here's knife number 3. So you guys see.
So the worst performing one, or like,
yeah, it's got the best blade.
It's got the best heat treat so far.
Well, that can be changed. I guess, maybe. I don't know if you start taking those things apart. Countries may start losing their democracy. I gotta do that again. Okay, here we go. There we go. Take a stab at it.
58.
I'm gonna go with 60. It was right there in between the other two. These all have some terrible burrs on them too, man. Like every one of these knives, like the edges.
They're not
yeah.
refined.
A little under 59. I'm sorry, a little under 60. It's like 59 point. You know, if I had to guess, I'd say 59.75. Yeah, well, it's like, yeah. I mean, so it's they seem to have decent numbers.
Yeah.
But you can rake your finger across these knives and feel the burr, which would be easily taken care of, and I might take care of that. At least on the one that I send to Nick. But Nick, you'll get the best best one we have to offer here, because I don't think any of us are going to carry them. But you know, we'd like to send you the best example so you can do whatever you want to with it, and you test it on your channel, give it away, do whatever you want to, brother. But
I'll probably do this one.
Yeah, maybe. Oh,
This lock, some higher mid heat treat.
Right. I sent Best Damn EDC a message and asked him if it would be cool if I tagged him in the video, and I didn't get anything back. So I'm going to assume it's going to be okay. Which I mean, like I just sent the video. If he says he's not cool with that, then I'll go back later and I'll remove it. But I'm gonna go with the easier to get forgiveness than it is to get permission approach. And I'll tag him in it. But you guys have a good one. And we will catch you on the flip side. Courtney, you got anything else to say?
Nope. About as impressed with it as the bug out.
About as impressed with it as the bug out. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good one.